It's a good move.
Because I'm supplemental to them.
Alright, we're back, I guess.
Yeah. See, without me, these guys are still pretty awesome.
Yeah, they're fine.
But they're not like 24 pretty.
That's true.
Alright.
Alright, guys.
So, as we like to do, we got requests to do this. We did it for Horde of the Dragon Queen. We're not going to do it tonight. We did get a request to do, for Rise of Tiamat and every other campaign that exists out there, chapter by chapter walkthroughs of all of the games about, going through as like DM notes what you should change chapter by chapter. We're not going to do that now because we just don't have the time.
That's true.
That is true.
Or we can also go back and do that for Lost Minds of Phandelver retroactively.
That's a solid idea.
So this, not going to be like that. This is going to be, I guess, more or less a high-level overview and thought process for Out of the Abyss. So I guess, first of all, we'll just go around the table. We'll start with you, Pat, because you're on my left here. What did you think? Just high-level overview of Out of the Abyss. Thoughts on the campaign. What did you think?
There were a lot of great encounters in traveling. It was very interesting. It never felt like, this is the same thing over again. Now, you had a huge part in that, but you seemed like you had a lot to pull from. It stayed interesting, even though it's like the Underdark and it's all like caves. Everything was unique.
Mm-hmm.
Demon Lords were awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Fighting as them was very cool.
Yeah, that was sweet.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that the difference in all the encounters, I think they were all very well planned. Everywhere from like the very beginning. What's the name of that place? The camp?
Veldnevelv.
Veldnevelv. So you start in there and like you're like kind of a wimp, and then like you slowly like build up your reputation, and then encountering like the demon lords as you go, and like being like, oh, we better run away, and like, oh, we better run away, and then, like a lot before you really start, and then like it's weird because like it's the beholder fight like right around there where the turning point is like, all right, now I'm gonna go track that demon down, and I'm gonna go mess with these guys, and now the drow are working against us instead of us just trying to get away from them. So I feel like the progression of, and plus the +4 charisma from the Maze Engine was cool.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I feel like the progression like into being a legitimate hero was like very well planned, and it played out really well.
Cool.
I was satisfied.
Sean?
I liked it overall. It was fun to run. It was pretty straightforward. And one of the things that I was thinking that I do like about this campaign is at least the first half of the campaign.
The first time.
There's really no.
No, in the boss battle.
Oh, nice.
Pat beat
Wow.
Pain.
At least the first half of the battle. I feel like it's one of the pre-written campaigns that is more conducive to being like borderline evil. Because at least that first half of the campaign, you're just trying to get out.
Right.
So you're doing what you need to do to get out. So I thought that was a kind of cool take. I mean, once the second half rolls around, then you kind of have to be at least a little bit good. But, yeah, I thought it was cool. It eased you into the Underdark really well. I mean, I have complaints, but yeah, overall, I thought it was fun. It was fun to run. I thought it needed more dungeon crawls. There was one, and I was too drunk to do it. So that's my fault, but, like, yeah, I felt like almost every encounter you guys had, you could just blow everything you had because that was the only encounter you're having that day.
Okay. I will say this was put together by Green Ronin Publishing. Just to throw that out there. The beginning campaigns from Wizards of the Coast, Cobalt Press, the folks behind the Tome of Beasts, did Horde of the Dragon Queen and Rise of Tiamat. Sasquatch Games did Princess of the Apocalypse. Green Ronin, who you may know from the Book of the Righteous Kickstarter campaign, they did a bunch of stuff in previous editions. If you guys hear Green Ronin a lot, it might be because that's where Matt Mercer's campaign guide for Taldore is being published by Green Ronin Games. They also do the Game of Thrones RPG. So they did this one, and then every subsequent RPG after this one, pre-written campaign, I should say, has been written in-house by Wizards of the Coast. So, also coincidentally, everything after this campaign only goes to level 10, whereas all three prior went to level 15. So, Curse of Strahd, Storm King's Thunder, and Tomb of Annihilation, I think, goes to 11. Those two go to 10. Horde of the Dragon Queen, Rise of Tiamat, Princes of the Apocalypse, and Out of the Abyss are designed to go to 15. So, there's that. I enjoyed it. I think it, it's the only parts where I think it suffered, but we'll talk more in depth about things, is that, it's a campaign in the Underdark. So, you don't get to do a lot of things you would normally do. There's not a lot of, exploring, because you don't want to explore because it's the Underdark.
You're trying to get from place to place.
You want to do what you need to do and get out. You don't want to, stay around and enjoy the scenery. You're like, oh, let's explore a little bit further in this town. Maybe there's some cool people. No, it's like, fuck this, I want out.
These people all suck.
So...
The Snurv Neblin were cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like they also kind of just described it as being a downtrodden, kind of decrepit city. So again, you're not, going around exploring. There's not, a lot to explore, because it's mostly
It's no silver.
destroyed. It's true. Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
I like the effect we had on the realm overall. We go help the Sverfneblin,
You got it.
and you guys helped the Durger, sort of.
Kinda. Not really.
We helped Thunder.
You helped Thunderchode.
Thunderchode.
Thunderchode, which now that I'm not the DM, I don't give a shit. Yeah. Thunderchode. You helped him.
That guy. The Mike and Ike's.
Mike and Ike's.
Mike and Ike's.
I wish.
Mike
Why
and
did we
Ike's.
come up with that? I mean, we could have been using
late.
Mike and Ike's as the Mikeanoids on the map.
True.
Great.
All right, Pat. So,
Yeah.
if you could change one thing about Out of the Abyss, what would it be?
I could change
Just one thing.
thing.
That really pissed you off. You thought was stupid. You hated. You wish was different. One thing you could
gruesome.
change.
Or something you just kind of didn't like.
I would have to say more.
Yeah, whichever.
more
What would you
dungeon
change?
Crawls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair.
I think if I had to change one thing,
I almost called you a Econish.
what would you change? If I had to change one thing about the entire, I would have liked a little more about Gauntlgrim. I would like if that was a more fuller experience.
Okay.
Just because, we got there and it was just all right, now we're leaving. So I feel like that was the only real nice city where you might actually hang out and do something.
That's fair.
But aside from that,
Go on.
So my biggest problem with this campaign is from level 2 to level 9, all of your traveling encounters are the same and you don't get any harder. So by the time you're at level 7, they're useless. You might roll 4 giant spiders, which at that point you can kill with one spell. I don't think that scaled very well. And also, I thought as a whole, there was never the kind of fear, we're in the Underdark, anything could happen at any point. Because the way the campaign is built, you roll twice a day. If you get a high enough roll, you get an encounter. If you don't, you don't. So, statistically, you're doing maybe one encounter a day, and this is over treks of months. So I felt like the traveling, had I actually done it out of the book, there would have been games, 5 games, where we would have just been traveling. Check, 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 check. And I got bored with it, and I started skipping it. So I wish there was a system for finding good shelter in the game. Because it's basically it says, oh, you find a good shelter. If you find it... So I wish it was, I wish it was more, nerve-wracking to just be in the Underdark.
right, being a little more exposed.
Yeah, but I also I don't even know how you do it. I wish you had that feeling, but without making the travel longer. Because by the second half, I just was skipping travel.
Yeah.
Cool, it's 3 weeks, you get there. So that was my kind of... What I was a little disappointed with in the game.
Things that I would change... I don't know, I don't feel like we really... I mean, that was definitely a thing. I didn't feel terrified that I was in the Underdark. Maybe it was because we rolled really well and we meshed pretty good as a group. I didn't really feel scared to be in the Underdark.
Well, you had that thing where you found stuff too. You could seek out food and everything. So you almost had that
That's
covered.
true. Without that, it might have been a little
You
harder.
added a little bit
That is
spider
true.
cushion.
I mean, and
solid
now
point.
at level 15, I don't eat anymore. So now I don't have to worry
I'm
about
pretty
that.
thin. I don't eat that much.
That's true.
Just one rat every week, something like that.
Something like that.
I will also throw this out there while we're going around answering our own internal questions. If you guys in the chat have any questions for us, feel free to throw them out, and we'll answer those as well. So if you guys have any questions about the campaign, about our thoughts, anything specific, throw them out.
She's pure blood too. Right?
Things that I would
pure blood
change.
children. Blood.
I don't know. I just feel like that whole thing. I felt like towards the end it got like it was too quick. Like you need to find all these ingredients, and it was just like
Bam, bam, bam.
we just like they came too easy, and like that whole Zentarum camp I thought was kind of just like weird. Like we just I didn't like that whole city.
Just slaughtered all of the Durgar.
Yeah, I just didn't think
we
that,
did that.
I didn't think that. I don't know.
They threw spears at me.
Sure, yeah.
All right. So Pat,
A lot of it?
things we kind of talked about this a little bit, but what did you think was what sucked and which we wanted to change? What did you like?
I liked finding the halfling in the pod that led to Dawn.
Fair.
Because it was like, oh, we'll leave this alone. You know, we don't want to.
Yeah,
mess with
we were gonna leave it.
dark. And I was like, I have a feeling this is something, and it was. So that was my little like
That's your
gem.
victory right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
The maze engine.
Fair.
Standing on there.
Probably
just being like,
too,
just
yeah.
riding it out, just waiting, and bam, 24 charisma. Yaka's just maybe the best character anybody could ask for. To like legitimately have a 24 charisma is pretty cool.
It's bananas.
It is. It's crazy pants bananas.
Sean.
I like the phase rush.
Yeah.
I think it's a really cool idea, and I forgot about it like half the time, and I wish I brought it in more. I thought it was a cool idea that like,
Magic might not work.
Yeah, magic might not work, and it's harder to teleport, and you have advantage against saving throws if someone's using a divination spell to find you. Like, I don't know, I just thought it was like a cool idea that like, there's a smoke, and magic is shitty in it.
Yeah, I also feel like it's a little unfortunate because you don't really have a lot of casters in your group. You may not ever encounter it.
That's true.
Which isn't necessarily going to be the case, but it could have happened.
Yeah, absolutely.
It killed the prince.
It did kill the prince.
I mean, Dalius killed the prince, actually, to be fair.
Mud Puppy in the chat says, it seems like this last battle was a huge ramp up in difficulty, and I wish there would have been an option to try and recruit an army for the fight or something. Maybe you could draft some deep gnomes.
Mud Puppy, there is like a drafting army kind of thing that I just skipped because I didn't think these guys needed it. When you're in Gauntlgrim, they met faction agents from all of the main factions, and basically as long as you're nice to them, they all give you faction agent. Like, they all give you NPCs, but
Like a lot of them.
Some of them are like, I think one gives you 6, one gives you 4, one gives you the Shield Guardian and a couple. So it would have been like, the players would have been outnumbered like 4-1 with NPCs, and I thought that would make all combats interminable. And I didn't think it was necessary. They didn't need the help, and it would just made things longer and boring. But then there are points where I had to skip parts of the game because they didn't have them. Like, the second half, a big part of traveling around, I think it was the Labyrinth, is your like faction agent NPCs can go crazy and madness ensue. Like, there's a whole bunch of different like encounters that are just, oh, your NPCs are stealing food or fighting each other or going crazy. So I unfortunately had to skip all of that, and then they do have an impact in that final battle, which is supposed to be about half as hard as I made it. He's supposed to have 200 less health and have already used one of his spells that I forgot to use anyway, and I had used 2 of his legendaries.
Wow, he'd have been done.
Yeah, if I had given you what the book tells you to give you, it would have been a 3-round fight, I think, something like that.
To be fair about all the NPCs, though, we already kind of like went through that. So with the first group,
Yeah.
getting out of Belkin Belt.
Yeah.
So if you were to do that over again, it would have just felt like the same. I don't think the NPCs would have been as original.
I agree, because there were so many of them.
Yeah.
And weren't there more? I thought I remember seeing pictures for other NPCs, like in Mind Flayer.
At the beginning?
No, I mean not at the beginning,
At the
just
beginning,
throughout.
there's a
I thought I remember seeing, like, when I remember there was like a flump that had an eye stalk missing that was replaced with a shield and a mind flare. Do you mind if I grab the book while I keep going through?
Sure.
Yeah, things that I liked. I don't know. I liked meeting Brunner as somebody who likes stuff that's happening in realms. I kind of like that, even though things may or may not sync up with where things are supposed to be, and it doesn't really seem to take too much into account the fact that like the events of Princes of the Apocalypse and Rise of Tiamat happened like 4 years before, theoretically. I mean, it wasn't in this game, but like that's the timeline of how it's supposed to happen. I also personally wasn't like a huge fan where I felt like going to the surface kind of seemed weird, like out of place. You know what I mean? Like, oh, let's go to the surface and we'll go back. I feel like you have to like seriously.
He had to get rid of the displacer hat.
Yeah.
No, that was part of the game. You get to the surface.
I know.
It's just.
And I had to get rid of that hat.
I mean, I still would have got hit a lot at the end of the game. Almost all the time.
All right, Sean. So you can probably speak to this better because you ran the game.
Yeah.
But how well was the book written? You ran Horde of the Dragon Queen, which was obviously the first one.
Yes.
So way different. And you guys have played and/or ran Horde of the Dragon Queen, and I'm running it right now. How well was the book written? I know Rise of Tiamat was a disaster because it was like go to chapter 2, then go to chapter 9, then back to 4. And then half of 3, and then 7.
It was very easy. Chapter 2 is all the traveling things you need. So you're going from chapter 1 to 3 with periodic stops back at 2. But since they put all the things you need for traveling into, it made it very easy to refer back to. Each of the different major cities got their own chapter. Each of the little places you went to collect the things, like the labyrinth and Aramikos, they all had their own chapters, so it was well ordered, easy to go through, well written. There were I don't remember any points when I was reading the book where I was like, wait, that contradicts something else they wrote. I remember like 1 or 2 things about Rise of Tiamat where I'm like, this doesn't make any sense at all. But this one was pretty straightforward, pretty well written.
That was my follow up question. Was there anything that just didn't make sense?
No, not that I can remember.
Okay. Alright, so for us, player side of the table, was there anything you were hoping to see in the game but you didn't end up seeing?
Going back to Velk Novel with all the knowledge that we had.
The maze engine?
Cool. That would have been sweet.
The whole game. For those who don't understand, that's one of the maze engine options, is you get sent back to where you start with all of your equipment, all of your knowledge, and all of your experience, and basically play through the entire campaign again. Just as a viewer, I like the way the company tells a story better than these guys. The ones that did Rise of Tiamat and Horde of the Dragon Queen.
So,
alright.
I like the way the other company tells the story better. Have you, Mud Puppy, have you played Horde of the Dragon Queen and Rise of Tiamat, or are you just going off of the game that I'm running? I'm just curious. Because they're very different.
yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find, because I found a mind flayer, one of the mind flayers I was talking about.
I didn't play through Rise of Tiamat, but even I was like, what the? How do I run this?
Yeah.
This did have a lot of things it seemed you could do kind of stuff in your own way. Like you could go, like, I want to go here now. But it did seem like there was more or less
It was pretty linear, I think.
Yeah. I mean, if you wanted to go to things in different order, you could have.
Right. Didn't you say you switched something?
I did.
And what did you switch?
Towards the end, basically, you're supposed to go to Menzo Baranzan and then do the whole fight in Aramikos. Mm-hmm. But the thing that I didn't... that, like, to me, didn't make sense... I guess this is the one of the things that kind of didn't make sense, that I hadn't thought of before. Is you're supposed to... You need the grimoire to make the Dark Heart.
Right.
So you are supposed to sneak into Menzo Baranzan, go through that whole thing to get into Gromp's lair, go into his inner sanctum, get his grimoire, then collect everything, then go back to Araj so he can make the Dark Heart, then sneak back into Menzo Baranzan so you can place the Dark Heart.
Uh-huh.
And then you need to go to Aramikos before you get those final ingredients. Like,
Right.
that's where you get the mushrooms. So I just swapped those, so you only had to sneak into Menzo Baron's End once.
Makes sense.
And then said that you didn't... He just needed the grimoire for the ritual and not for actually making the dark heart. So that's something I switched, because otherwise you have to sneak in twice. I guess the other side of it is, if that's the case, then it gives the players, I guess, more of an obvious option on where to put the dark heart.
Right.
Because if you're starting off at a Raj and you have it and you're supposed to go place it, then I guess you could argue that it kind of gives you the more freedom to take it to any of the different locations you've been to. Because it actually lists in the book a bunch of different places that you could take it, like the ruins of Sloopluhdap, or Oromikos, or...
Gauntlgrim.
Not Gauntlgrim, it doesn't say... But you could. You could bring it to the Labyrinth.
Like
you could bring it to all these different places.
All them demons about to show up.
No.
Get you a dwarf.
So yeah, that was the one thing that I kind of switched around. Had you go to Oromikos and do that first.
Oh. I wanted Vizirian's chest.
What was in it?
Nothing. I don't know. I made it up.
Ah, magic stuff then.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make that up.
This guy. There's that. Mind Flayer with the 3 tentacles. And like these look all like NPCs that we might have been able to encounter at some point.
Oh, these are
Starter
the...
NPCs?
No, these are... What are they called? You guys never rolled that random encounter. The Society of Brilliance.
Oh.
Huh.
Neutral alignment, intelligence of 17, speak multiple languages, teleport spell, Society of Brilliance, are aware of paths in the surface, but they haven't explored any of them. They're basically, yeah, just a bunch of smart folk that you just never had a random encounter for.
Did you want us to encounter them? Or
No. They don't really, like, they don't do anything, yeah, basically they can give you directions if you don't know where you're going.
That's okay.
Yeah, I thought I had seen, but maybe somebody just made it up.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything about a flump with a shield.
Because this is what I saw, and I thought it was. Whenever I look up Out of the Abyss
Nah.
NPCs,
I've never seen that image before.
he's
Which is a cool idea.
yeah. Okay. Did we fuck over any of the plans you had at all with
Nope.
like ideas that we had? So we didn't really like go crazy off book or destroy any ideas that you had.
Nope.
Okay.
That's good.
Did you guys think we did?
At any point?
Yeah, like we're like, oh, we totally fucked him. He's never gonna think about that, and then we just apparently didn't.
No.
I mean, the closest thing was Grin. I didn't think you would try and convince him with, like, pure persuasion that, like, no, we should totally slaughter all the Drow.
Maybe the banishment of the demon lord.
What's up?
Oh,
Banish.
No,
well,
that didn't
Banish.
fuck up anyone.
Jubilex.
It was a solid plan,
If
and
only you hadn't used that scroll then.
Yeah.
Could have got rid of Jubilex, then we would have absolutely creamed the Demigorgon.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been like
What kind of saving throw was that to get in?
charisma, I think, or maybe it was wisdom. I don't remember.
But
No, it
that was
charisma
also
because I thought the ooze would be really bad at using charisma.
you. But again, that was a rolled item.
Yeah.
Like that's not supposed to be something that's in the game.
Right. It was something
You were supposed to get an aura protect or a scroll of protection, and I think that's all it said. So I had you roll to see what type of damage it was, or not damage.
So yeah, to you guys talking about Horde of the Dragon Queen and Rise of Tiamat storyline-wise, if you only learned it from watching either... Well, I'll use my stream as an example because I'm running it. The way that book is written is very different, and I have gone in and heavily doctored the way things are going to make things more cohesive and interesting. Also, with pre-written campaigns, the way I think it should always go is they're not one-size-fits-all. You get the pre-written campaign as it is, and then you need to take it and you need to alter it for your group.
Yeah, you
Because
cut
every
some
group
stuff
is going to
out.
be different.
Mm-hmm.
Cut stuff out, add stuff in, change up NPCs. You know, some of that, I have a little bit of leeway here because people can add NPCs and stuff. Like, I didn't really plan on having, Mr. T and Pee Wee Herman as NPCs in my game, but now I do. And I'm okay with that.
And there they are.
And like for those of you guys who watch Horde of the Dragon Queen, the fact that that other tiefling that was in the group, that whole caravan is just like there's a list of NPCs that you can pull from, and some of them like use them when necessary. They're not like this person is here in this cart
Yeah.
doing this thing. I put everybody where they were supposed to be because I know that these girls are going to go and literally talk to every single person, want to know everybody's name and what they do. So I had to put that all in there for myself.
I enjoy asking everyone's name.
I know you do.
It's one of the good things about being a character.
So, like, that was a little bit of a change. And working things in so that the story is cohesive and continuous. Still kind of railroading them, but letting them do their own thing. Like, wanting to go, you know, I mean, it didn't happen too much here because we didn't have, like I said, we didn't have the leeway to just be like, yeah, we're just going to go fuck off in this town because it's the Underdark and we just want to get the hell out of there.
Yeah. And then we were there specifically to get rid of those demons.
Mm-hmm.
So.
From just my quick flip through the book.
Oh, that stay in the library was kind of dull.
Yeah. I'll agree
That
with
was like an entire episode. I mean, we needed to do it, and I understand, you know, like where it came from, but at the same time, like by the end of the library, I was like, thank goodness.
Finally, we're done.
I will say that I liked the different things that they wrote out for if you checked in on the Demon Lords. Like, you don't have to.
Right.
I just kind of, like, I thought they were well written and kind of cool visually, so I pushed you into doing that, which extended it and made it unnecessary.
I think it was cool too. That was the coolest part of that whole area.
Yeah, it was weird.
It was cool to see, you know, like Elminster and like Old Bruner. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, there were a bunch of, like, random
Biggest
people
thing
that you could
that
run into.
I'm also bummed about, having just flipped through that real quick. Apparently there were spell gems for all the way up through 9th level,
Oh, shit.
and there was a Puafui of fire resistance.
I don't know where. Like, I
saw
saw that
it
in the
back
back.
of the book, yeah.
I saw both of those in the back, but I don't know where they were.
So there were better spell gems?
Yeah, there was spell gems for every level,
Um,
because it listed what type of gemstone they were. Yours was a bloodstone, so it was level 3.
Who's your favorite NPC?
stool.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
Super easy. Followed by baby.
Yeah, I mean, Stool, pretty great. How about you?
Wonderful.
You know,
I mean, I like Shushar a lot,
Oh.
but he didn't make it.
I say
Did
I
he
like
die?
the prince.
No, he's right.
You like the prince?
I did have a special thing for the prince.
You killed the
No,
prince.
no homo.
Yeah,
Internet.
yeah, and then you killed the prince.
Yeah, I
You
did.
killed him.
I did.
And then,
with your
then-
your wild magic.
well, no, did you kill the prince, or did he kill the
No,
prince,
he
or
killed
did
the prince.
you
He
kill
killed
the
his
prince
wild
with Dawn?
No, his wild magic.
No, I
made him
remember.
the
No,
prince.
Who did
did
you
it.
kill with Dawn,
I
though?
killed the prince, yeah.
Remember, you took Dawn from him and killed somebody, and then that made Dawn not work for him because he said, "I'll pass you around whoever I want."
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Was that the prince?
No, it wasn't. That was later.
Can't remember.
I might have been that assassin lady.
Hmm.
Oh, since I opened up to it, in the library, a couple of the other people you could have ran into, Grazed.
Oh shit.
would've been
I think
crazy.
you met Alestral Silverhand.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And Daurin Zareth. He's a red wizard. Bruner, Grazed, Garm,
No, yeah, we think we met her.
Elmister. Don't remember. The Society of Brilliance would have popped up there too. Zetzabor, who's a mind flayer.
We ran into the mind flayer.
Yeah, we did. He was trying to like
Oh yeah, that's true.
Trying to save the
save the
Elder
Elder Brain.
Yulin, who's a stone giant. Oh, did you meet him?
Who?
Yowlin, any
No.
kind of stone giant. A stone giant from the ancient past came to Graven Hollow to seek the answer on whether he should enter an alliance with the bearer of the Caragorn crown. That's the whole Gauntlgrim. Or not Gauntlgrim, sorry. Kraglestig alliance.
Ah.
So yeah. And I was gonna throw in some other NPCs.
Yeah, it. I don't know. I mean, all in all, like it was definitely a good game. But I think as with everything, Wizards of the Coastian pre-written campaigns, each subsequent iteration gets better and better. Well, again, and it's hard to speak to because Curse of Strahd and Storm King's Thunder are both written in-house,
Yeah.
whereas these were contracted out.
Right. Curse of Strahd's very well written.
And that is written by two of the people that wrote it are the people who wrote Ravenloft, the original campaign setting
Right.
for second edition, and Chris Perkins, who's one of the best like writers and dungeon masters out there.
Yeah.
And he's like heavily involved as like the story, like lead story consultant designer or whatever his title is.
Right. I felt like kind of like the Demon Lords didn't like have too much motivation like while they were in the Underdark.
Yeah.
Like except for what Zuget Moy.
Zuget Moy had
like a reason to be doing stuff.
Yeah.
Jude Lex obviously just wants to eat things.
Yeah.
That's fair. But like everybody else was like, they're like, all right, we'll just cause mayhem and mischief, and like that's not like a, you know, some of these Demon Lords have some pretty reasonable intelligences. I think they'd have like a plan or something they were doing, but they weren't. They were just like, we'll just go around and fuck shit up for indefinitely.
Yeah.
So that was, but like, you know, in Curse of Strahd, like it's like every single character has like a motivation and, you know, why they would do and what you would do with this. And I feel like, I don't know, Demon Lords are kind of like they're almost like a force of nature as an enemy, you know. They're not like, they don't have like personalities, you know. So
I hear what you're saying.
Goodbye.
that's one of the one things that I felt like it
Paradise.
could have done more with.
I hear what you're saying.
But Eldritch Blast.
I hear what you're saying. However,
Yeah, well, I mean, Mud Puppy R, Curse of Strahd campaign, even Season 1 versus Season 2 are very different.
Yeah.
And I will say, if any of the campaigns you've ever watched played were encounter roleplay, I love Will, but like you can't count them as anything close to what the campaign is going to be, because when you can just have the viewers completely drastically like the viewer decision comes up when you reach so many retweets, and then that can literally be anything. The game isn't what the game is designed to be. It's all over the place. Like I said, I mean, I was in the thing where we had a resurrected, undead chicken, and everybody was cracking eggs all over you and rubbing into each other's chests for protein. It gets all over the place with those guys.
Sounds terrible.
It was okay.
I imagine in real life that would be terrible.
Well, there was like a female NPC involved, so it was like got a little weird. My guy was like a really old guy who just wanted to like be like research things, and this like girl was like hardcore trying to hit on him, and he was just not getting it. He was just like, she I guess had been out there like at this expedition for like a while and was like hurting for some touch, and he was just like, well, I must be going now.
All right, see you later though. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, so again, just to clarify, since I think we're pretty much going to wrap up the Out of the Abyss review, I guess, unless anybody has any final thoughts, things they'd like to say otherwise.
Favorite place?
Favorite place?
The Maze Engine.
Yeah, the Maze Engine was pretty cool.
The Maze Engine was really cool.
Yeah.
The Surface, though, in the end, was my favorite place.
Yes, see my puppy, you get it. Had Casper the Friendly Ghost show up in their Curse of Strahd game and challenge the NPCs to a rap battle. That's what happens in those games.
My favorite place was the hole. I fell down.
Done at home.
Do that.
So, as a heads up to you guys, our character sheets will be updated to our final completing level. And now Out of the Abyss will be listed as complete
That's right.
on the
Yep.
Nerd Immersion D&D campaign hub. But if you want to see our character sheets or what we finally ended up with at the completion, you can go ahead and check that in the next couple days. So Monday we'll be back with Horde of the Dragon Queen again, playing every other week. And this Tuesday the 11th, will be Storm King's Thunder Weekly, potentially with Celine, but probably not.
We'll see.
I don't buy it.
No, we will see.
I guess we will see.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't want to go to Katie, like, can you put together the art for this? And then, even though I've given her heads up and then Celine just not show up. Because that's, like, almost worse than her showing up consistently and never giving a character description, is giving a character description and then never showing up.
From talking to her, I do think she switched her work schedule around so she could start coming again.
Maybe she just
Tell
doesn't
her trivia's dumb.
Yeah.
Tell her I said that.
Okay. That will hold more weight than if I say it.
Tell her I said that trivia is dumb and she should come play with us because it's more fun when she's here.
Okay.
Okay.
That might sway her.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm going to use my persuasion.
Yeah, your ridiculous persuasion.
Ridiculous.
With your
24 pretty.
Yeah. So yeah, She wants to come
Yeah.
most of the time when I talk to her.
Yeah, at least in theory, until it actually has to happen. I mean, it took her 19 episodes when she wanted to come the first go around.
Oh yeah.
Maybe 15.
Well, I think that was also because she had a problem being smart.
Oh?
Yeah, no, that was because she was working at what's it called? She was working at Force of Fear.
Problem being smart.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you're supposed to be especially with Theron, like I got in such a rut, like playing a dumb character, that like it's hard to like kickstart yourself back into playing smart.
Yeah, that's fair.
You're sitting there, you're like, whatever. Theron doesn't know anything about that.
But yeah, so I think she'll be here on Thursday
Well,
or on Tuesday.
thanks, Mud Puppy. We appreciate you being here, but I know you
Thanks,
won't
man.
be going anywhere. Thank you again for the donations.
Yeah, man.
It is starting on Monday. I mean, it was tonight too, but it wouldn't really make sense for anybody. But starting Monday, really, for the first stream, Magic Item Month will be in full-blown capacity, where you'll be able to spend IRL money or Twitch bits, whichever you prefer, to buy rolls on Magic Item tables for the characters in the games. So if you desperately want to shower the Belladonnas with gifts and magic items, you can do that. Or us in Pat's game on Tuesday, but you probably don't have to, because we have...
Pat showers us with gifts already.
Strix could use more things.
You have a free action whenever you want.
No. Just like once a
long
rest.
Yeah, once per long rest.
Once per long rest.
Alright guys, so we're going to
Yeah.
stop this here. We may still...
No, I can put one
Yeah,
mustache
see-
hair that's just going right up my nose.
I don't have any mustache.
So that's why I did that weird thing, that weird move.
Like almost like you went through like Twilight. But